Hello everyone, and welcome to the final update on the garage cleanup and fix-up project that I've had going on since this last fall. So if this is the final one, obviously, they've come back out and they have finished the electrical panel. Brand new electrical panel, much better than the twisted fuses that were out here. The line to the house was rerun, updating it to higher amperage to handle the heavier load of the heat pump I had installed. And go over here, as we can see, the heat pump is turned on. Even though it's kind of chilly outside, it is nice in here. I can definitely feel the difference with the heat pump on in here. So anyways, just to recap, for where the project came from. Initially, when I bought the house, it was filled with junk out here in the garage. I mean, it was literally wall to wall with junk piled up out here and everything. I had that all hauled away except for the cabinets, which I had to tear apart and take out. I had this hauled out by a dumpster, or through a dumpster I had to rent. Then had USA Insulation come out and do spray-on insulation on the roof to insulate the roof and the tops of the ends of the garage. So the garage is nicely insulated. Plus, had a new garage door put in, insulated garage door. And then, once that was done, electrical was updated out here. The rat's nest of wires and lights all over the place, that's been cleaned up and everything's up to code and nice and neat and tidy. And new electrical receptacles are now on all the walls, not just along the one wall. And then of course we got the heat pump running now, so it's very nicely with the garage. I'm just going to flip on they're called the electrician called them ceramics for the lights other than the shop lights, but as you can see, those added on a bit of light out here too. So if you don't want the shop lights on, you can just turn these on. Or like I was originally planning to do, which was put blue bulbs in those and then use those for nighttime operations on the layout out here. So to recap how much it costs. Originally, originally back in March of last year, was looking at just hiring one contractor to do everything, and only one person got back with me, and they were wanting over $35,000 for the entire garage to get the garage fixed up and everything. But here's counting the dumpster rental to take the cabinets out that I ripped out last summer. Dumpster was $368.51. That was after rebate. Originally it was $435, but they gave me a refund of $66.49. Apparently they overcharged me, and so that knocked that down to $368.51. The insulation from USA Insulation was $4,800. The garage door, both the door and the new opener, that came out to $3,272. The heat pump installation, that came out to $3,720. Then the lighting, electrical, and all that came out to $4,406. So the grand total for the whole project, less than half of what that contractor that did get back with me wanted. It came out to $16,566.51. So, you know, is kind of a little stressful at times, trying to coordinate, between all four companies as to who's going to do what and everything and when and everything, all that. But, I brought it in less than half of what that place was, or the one contractor was telling me it was going to cost. So, not bad. Final result. So I want to just give a shout out to a few people who and companies that gave a big hand in getting this project done for fixing up the garage. First is Forrest Reed of USA Installation. He's got this office down in Hilliard, where I'm originally had moved from. I moved back up here to Bucyrus. But he came out, did the survey of the garage and everything. The crew he sent out, top-notch professionals at getting the insulation put in on the roof and everything. And I couldn't be happier with the treatment I got. Well worth the price of it. Plus the insulation that did count as a tax deductible or deduction, or whatever you want to call it, when I did my taxes for the IRS last year, because it counts as, because I was basically turning this into, my man cave to get this fixed up and make it a little bit more livable out here. Also, I want to thank the folks at Bob and Bob Door Company over in Mansfield. They came out, measured the door and everything, and then they had the crew come out with the door. They realized they were going to need to do the door opener as well, because the old door opener was about shot. So they got the door opener over here right away that same day. I think it took them about 4.5 hours to do the 16-foot insulated garage door. Had everything up and running and cleaned up and everything afterwards. Very professional company. Was very happy with the results I got from them. Also, I want to thank Jordan, and he had a coworker, I can't remember his coworker's name, at Keys Electric over in East Mansfield Street here in Bucyrus. Very professional, courteous gentleman to work with. He listened to what I was looking for. Very easy to work with, and he's constantly checking with me and make sure, hey, am I putting these lights in the right spot and everything. And very neat, tidy job. When it comes to wiring and networking and that kind of thing, I'm very OCD on that, about neatness and everything. And looking at the lights and the wiring that he did, it's very easy to follow where everything goes now compared to the rat's nest that was out here. And what used to be a really grungy, dark garage is now so bright, nicely bright lit. Then last but not least, Scott and his crew over at Hall Plumbing, Heating and Air Conditioning. Not only did they do the furnace and AC on the house, they installed the heat pump out here, got it up and running, and it's really nice out here right now. It's still warming up to, the thermostat on that set at 65, but it's really nice out here compared to where it was this morning, where I was literally nearly frozen. So I'm very happy with all the folks that I've worked with on this project, and hopefully I have any other projects that require their services. I'll hopefully get to work with them again. So anyways, that being said, now comes the bad news. A lot of folks have been asking me, when are you going to get trains running again? And I was planning, once the garage was finished, hopefully by May, I was hoping to have trains running again. It does not look like that's going to happen. 3 weeks ago today, my dad was taken to the hospital. He was admitted with pneumonia and complications with COVID. This is on top of his lung cancer, 4 different leukemias, and kidney issues. He was in the hospital for several days. He fought damn hard, and unfortunately he passed on the 9th, 2 weeks ago yesterday. Back in 2023, when Mom started having her health issues, she and Dad started planning everything ahead to make it easier for me and my brother, so we didn't have to go through all the thing. Everything was already prepaid for funerals and everything. Funerals were already planned out and everything too. So anyways, one of the things that they did back then was that they had the house switched over to me and my brother. So it was basically half my brother's, half mine. Mom and Dad continued to live there, pay utilities, insurance, and all that. But, the house basically belonged to me and my brother. So when Dad passed, that week, obviously, my brother and I, we were spending a lot of time getting, just finalizing the arrangements and everything, and make sure everything was set right for the funeral. And it's like the next day after Dad passed, my brother and I, we were out to the house going through some things, and he asked me what we planned to do with the house. And basically, basically the plans are now for me to move out to the house, basically buy my brother's half of the house, move out there, and sell this house. Even though I haven't been here quite a year and a half, the house is 70 years newer than this house. The basement where the layout's going to go is actually where my old layout used to be, my last layout, and actually the layout before that, layout before that was actually a narrower version of the last layout, but and then there's going to be room in the basement as well for my art studio. Larger property. It's 1.29 acres of land that's on. The house is a lot newer. It's a lot better shape than this one. I mean, granted, this one's in really good shape. I've put a lot in it's about 17 months now since I've been here, and I put a lot of work into this house. Out front, and actually around all the sides and around the garage here too. I cut down a lot of the vegetation where stuff was just growing out of control. My back sidewalk, I couldn't even use that because stuff was growing out so much that I had to actually walk in the yard, not in the sidewalk. And out here at the side door of the garage, where we came in the last video, there was a big bush out there that was growing actually across the door. I had to fight with the bush to get in the door. That's all been cut down and everything. Inside the house, it's like a layer of crud on everything. If you look at this one picture of my bathroom wall, when I was in the middle of washing it, you can see how just one time washing the wall, it made such a big difference compared to before washing it on the left side. So the whole house has gotten a lot of TLC and cleaning, and not only that, but there's also the all the light fixtures. I took the light fixtures apart and washed them out in the kitchen sink with soap and water. Got everything nice and spotless. So the whole house has gotten a whole cleanup. The air conditioner, I replaced that last June. That same week I also fixed the dishwasher, got that working again. It's still got part of a handle that's looks like it's been cut out. I don't know if it broke or if it was just cut out or what, but the dishwasher itself, though, it runs just fine now, ever since I fixed it. Plus then there's the update out here with this garage, that it's gonna it's disappointing that I never got to have to get the layout up and running out here, because this was going to be a really nice setup out here with getting the layout set up and then getting my art studio set up. But the reason I left the garage door on is, whoever buys this house from me, they can still use this as a garage in addition to the two-car garage on the house. Then there's the, you can also use this as a nice area for a workshop if you're into woodworking or, crafts and that kind of thing, or artwork, or, model railroad layout. Be nice out here too, since it's all insulated again now, and climate controlled and everything. So, but moving out to my parents' house, I think, is going to be the right decision, because like I said, it's a newer house. It's going to be a little bit bigger. I'm not going to have to shovel snow and bundle up to come out here to run trains or paint, because all I have to do is go down the basement steps and I'm there, and it's already climate controlled down there too, with heaters, and there's a couple vents from the AC and furnace too, down there. So then there's a lot more closet space in the whole house too. The kitchen's a little smaller than the kitchen here, which you saw in the beer brewing update video that I did. But like I said, there's a lot more closet space, so I'm keeping that in mind too. Plus there's pantry shelves down in the basement, where I can store the canned goods, bottled goods, and the bottled beer that I bottle, I can take that down to the basement, put it down there where it's going to be just the right temperature to allow the bottles to properly carbonate and everything. The layout, I did some checking with the dimensions of the room where it's at, as well as because the room where it's going to be, where the old layout used to be, it's actually a few feet shorter than what's needed for this layout. That's if you count the Cleveland staging yard. But if I take the Cleveland staging yard and put that into the room next, that's basically end to end with the room where the layout's going to go, I can run a single track through the wall into the, that extra room, and that will, not only will that allow me to have room for the staging yard on the other side of the wall, but it's going to allow me about 5 feet in the main layout room to expand the layout another 5 feet on both sides in the center peninsula for the Columbus staging yard, and a few feet on the Cleveland staging yard. That's going to be allowed to expand there as well. So that's going to add, trackage space in the yards, as well as, mainline trackage, so it's a little bit longer for the trains to go around the layout. Also in the backyard where we used to have a big vegetable garden out in the backyard, back at the back of the property. That area, what I'm going to do is turn that into a apiary or beekeeping yard. As you know from my one video I did back in 2018, I've taken an interest in beekeeping thanks to a couple friends of mine on their farm, and it's be a nice area back in the back to set up a couple beehives. Take that up because I'm only going to start with a couple beehives because hives are going to expand and grow, and then I'm going to split them, and that's going to make more beehives. So I think according to Ohio Department of Agriculture, you're allowed 12 hives per acre, and so that means back to the property I can put 15 or 16 hives back there because it's 1.29 acres, so that'd be about 15 and a half or 16 hives I can do. Of course, I'll be doing a video series on that if and when I take that up. But another big reason too, I wanted to move out there and buy the house for my brother is, he's got his house north of town, and yeah, I have this house, but we want to keep the house in the family. Mom and Dad built the house back in '71, and they had that house built for our family, and I would hate to see the house go to someone who is not going to take care of it properly, or who is going to come in and gut the house and basically change everything around to their liking and everything. Because the house is very nicely well built when it was put in. My brother and I, we actually found a couple nights ago, we found the original documentation and paperwork and everything that Mom and Dad had for the building permits, contracts with the builders and everything, and even the mortgage papers. It's amazing that back in 1970, your mortgage agreement was one page, and it was actually a $20,000 mortgage at 8% interest, and their mortgage payments were $167 a month. Compared that to the mortgage agreement and everything, that all the paperwork that I had to go through to buy this house, which is already built, and it just is amazing how much has changed since then. Excuse me. But yeah, basically, when my grandparents on my mom's side passed away, we sold, our mom and her two brothers sold our grandparents' house down in Wyandotte, which is down the road from the house from us. And every once in a while, when we're going to Pepper Sandusky or coming back from Marion or places over in that where we have to go through Wyandotte, you go through there, and you see the house, you see different vehicles in the driveway and garage when the garage is open, and you see the changes being made to the house. That's like, hey, that was something that was special to my childhood or my mom's childhood, and seeing that. And my mom was always saying that it hurt so much seeing the changes and stuff getting changed around and everything with that house. And part of me would like to see the inside, but part of me, knowing how much has been changed, probably I don't want to see what's been changed. It's like I was telling my brother the other day, there used to be a huge evergreen in the yard down there at that house where, when we were kids and with our cousins, when we were down there, we used to chase each other around the tree, hide under, go back in underneath the evergreen and hide in there when we were playing hide and seek out in the yard and that kind of thing. And in that tree gone now, it's like so many memories are wiped out, and it's like I don't want to go in and look at that and see like, hey, you took that away from us, and or you know, that kind of thing. So, but anyways, the move, I think it's going to be good. I'm not looking forward to the move, but one thing I'm keeping in mind too, I'm only moving 6.5 miles. Whereas when I got this house, I moved up here and it was 1 hour each way, at least. Actually, it was a little over an hour each way. And, you know, that is exhausting because you can only do that once a day. And, you know, trying to do that and coordinate with making sure you got stuff at home to clean up your old place, make sure you have stuff up here to clean up the new place. Meanwhile, moving and, you know, trying to do the work at both places to get things ready to turn back over to the landlord down there and get everything fixed up here, and at the same time trying to get everything moved. It was exhausting. So, but, you know, moving out to my parents' house, you know, it's only 6.5 miles one way. I can easily, you know, do 2 or 3 loads in the Jeep with that, doing that. I'm not sure for the layout and some of the larger stuff like bookcases. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a trailer like I did for before with the layout. I know I can easily do the corner sections in the back, one section at a time in the back of the Jeep. But I'm not sure if I'm going to do the like one of the small moving vans from U-Haul, or if I want to do the trailer again to that I did before. But we'll see when that run comes, or when that time comes. Plus, there's some electrical updates that I want to have done and checked it out when before I get moved in out there too. And that's obviously going to be a lot easier when there's not a lot of stuff blocking the outlets and everything. So, because being built in 71, there's 4 rooms that still have the older 2-prong electrical receptacles, which with all my electronics really should be properly grounded. So, and then plus there's the layout room, or the area in the basement where the layout's going to be going. There needs to be better lighting and put in there as well. So I'll be working with Keys Electric on that as well. And then the air conditioner furnace out there too, that was put in by Hall Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling back years ago when Mom and Dad had the house updated. And funny thing is, when I went to see about the AC on this house, everything, I told Scott that the reason I came to you guys first is because you guys did my mom's AC and furnace. So it's like, if you guys made my mom and dad happy, I know you guys did a good job. So so I stuck with them, and they've been great to work with. So anyways, I probably talked long enough on what's going on. I've got some things I need to do in the house to go over, and so the layout, thankfully, one thing I am very thankful for is that 22 years ago when I started construction on this layout, I built it to be sectional so I could take it apart when I moved. I am so thankful I did that, because as much work as I put into this layout, granted, I don't have scenery up or anything yet, but just getting the layout up and running, getting trains running, that's a lot of work. And doing that when you're working full-time, and back when the layout was built, I was working full-time, but I was also driving to work in the office and everything, so I didn't have a whole lot of free time during the week and everything. But hopefully It won't take too long for getting the layout up and running once I get moved and settled in, and also get the layout expansion done. I've already looked at what's needed for in terms of electrical connectors underneath the layout, and that sort of thing, to make sure all that gets properly done when I get the layout or start doing the updates and expansion of the layout. So feels like there was something else I was going to say, but yeah, it's been a chaotic couple of weeks. I'm very thankful my employer, the bank I work for, they give us 2 weeks, or it's actually 10 days off for bereavement, so basically 2 weeks off. Took full advantage of that because you know, 1 week was doing the funeral, and then the second week was you know, last week and through this weekend I was going out there helping my brother go through everything, deciding basically what I want, basically what he's keeping, and then what's going to get sold off pretty soon. So and that's two big things that are holding off the move right now. One, I got to get the financing done. Basically the banker I'm talking to, she's talking about having my current mortgage refinanced so I can piggyback away on my brother and mom and dad's house, and then sell off my house. So that way I'm only dealing with one mortgage payment instead of you know, taking on a second mortgage and having to do another huge down payment or anything like that. So that'll work out in my favor to get the financing taken care of. But we're needing to basically, we've got some ideas. My brother's waiting to hear from a couple people on the actual appraisal of the property as to how much my half is going to be for buying the house from him. And then the other thing too that's holding things up right now is the everything that's out there that's getting sold off. We basically pulled everything out of the cupboards, closets, under the beds, that kind of thing. And so everything, it's basically like everything's out in the open and nothing's put away. So the house is kind of in a bit of disarray right now. So, and obviously I don't want to move my stuff out there and get stuff mixed in. And plus I do want to do some cleanup and everything before starting to move in too. So, but anyways, I've talked long enough, I think, probably. So anyways, like I said, I'm not sure when the layout's going to be up and running, but I will be posting updates when I can on it. And hopefully this move goes smoothly. Everything gets worked out, and hopefully before long I'll have some trains running for you guys. So I know I've been busy with putting kits together in the kitchen and you know, that kind of thing, and I've also been going through and sorting freight cars and everything, getting everything a little more organized. So hopefully that will help things out too once the move comes around. So anyways, thanks for watching everyone, and I'll see you in the next video.